Hi, this is the Price Action Analyst. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm having a look at AGI. It's a subscriber request. They've bought into this coin and they've sold most of their position, but continue to hold a small proportion of that position. And they are looking to re-enter in future, and they like the fundamentals of this project. So I have framed up the support and resistance lines. Those are the orange lines on this chart. So you can see that AGI has been consolidating within these support and resistance lines for a while. And then there's been a breakout and a volume spike, and the breakout has been in two legs. And this series of wicks here has been made in accordance with those highs there. So that's, pretty expected based on those prior highs here. So currently, price is retracing. So given these legs up, I would say that, my expectation, my bias is up. It's in an uptrend. And so my expectation is for it to make another leg at some stage. So again, the way to identify where to do that is to wait, once this retrace is well formed, to wait for substantial buying. And as we're watching the retrace, what we want to do is mark our areas where we expect that buying to occur. So, we've got prior highs here, and then prices pushed up from those very strongly, leaving air. So you've got, your reverse anchor type of area here. It's probably the last of the air here. We'll take a look at the hourly bars in a minute. You've got support here. I would also watch what happens to price within these wicks here. So, support is not finished holding. So, if that closed up here and left another wick, that's indicative. Or if price tomorrow makes a big buying bar there, that's also indicative. So we're still watching this level to see if support holds, but it's going to be very hard to, in order to have a substantial buying bar, it basically needs to open here and close here. So I think that's probably unlikely. I mean, it's possible, but I'm just watching this area. We're just, we're sitting on the sidelines and we're watching price, what it does in this area. And if support fails, then I'm going to watch it as it comes down to this area. This area here is pretty, I wouldn't expect price to come that deep, because this area is kind of, you've had price come up, it's retraced, support is held, and it's pushed up. So here's kind of the area of support. I mean, if it comes in here, it's very deep. So it's not really my high probability expectation. I would, without seeing what happens here, I'd expect either this support level or this support level to hold. That doesn't mean an exact test. It means, a wash of this support level and an eventual push out. A wash of that level, a push up, a retest of that low, and then substantial buying. And that's the ideal setup that I'm looking for. So for the moment, I would just be waiting here. And then all I really do is mark in my areas, and then I just watch the price and wait for the buyers to step in. So if we want to get more accurate about our levels, I just go down to the hourly bar for crypto trading. All I'm really doing is looking for any sort of big pushes that have been made. And interestingly, I don't see any here. There's probably the only sort of remaining pocket of error is here, and that's not, again, I'm not really expecting price to come down to this level. But I mean, I'd mark that error in here. The yellow lines are error. And this sort of previous high here has kind of been tested by this retrace and the push off here. So, this is not air. It's more of just a level of interest. But if price comes down to support, I want to see it wash this pivot. So, if it comes down here and it probes in there and then it pushes out on and makes air, I'm very interested in that. That's kind of what a buying an entry trigger starts to look like. And just looking here, that could happen here. Like you've got some, you've got substantial wicks here on the hourly. And so I would also continue to watch what happens here. So none of this is substantial buying yet. Because again, you can see price pushed up here and then you had the retrace, and I don't know, it's hard to say yet. But, if I get a big buying bar here and some air, then I'll probably trade that. But it needs to, this is par for the course, like a probe, a push up, and a retrace. So if it's going to make substantial buying, it needs to make it very soon. And then what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a very fast, strong push up, and then I want to see a retrace of that push up should make air, and then I would mark that air, and basically I would just looking for price to come down and fill that air, and I would buy it there. But none of this is substantial buying. But it's possible that paints in. I just would keep watching it here. But there's no, and the only reason that I'm still kind of interested in this level, because we have lots of strength coming down into it, is because it's washing these pivots here. So I would just keep an eye on price here. I don't expect you to know exactly what an entry trigger looks like, but I'll keep my eye on what happens here. And then if I see one, I'll let you know in the group chat. But essentially this is also bearish because you have a consolidation pattern here that's now failed. And so this trend line is going to act as resistance. When it gets to that, price is it's going to make a retrace of some description. You don't know how far it's going to go. But if I'm short-term trading, normally I'll go short there on things like futures, not that's a very short-term trade, but generally you will get some selling pressure off of the retest of that. You've got air there as well. So you can afford to wait with AGI. Just be patient, sit on the sidelines. It's not, there's lots of time before an entry trigger will paint in there. So hopefully that's helpful. Again, just keep an eye on this level. If it fails, keep an eye on this level. If this holds, you'll get your entry trigger off of the buying support that steps in to hold that level. If you don't see that, it's likely going to cycle down to this level of support. And worst case scenario, and unlikely because you've got all this price action acting as a barrier, that price comes down to here. This isn't an uptrend, and so I expect the uptrend to eventually continue. But like I said, it's going to take a little while for it to do that, so you can afford to just sit and wait now. And again, on the daily, that there's nothing bullish about what's going on there. It would take a substantially sized blue bar to sort of change my premise right here based on this and this. So sit tight. Hopefully that's helpful. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in real-time updates to a whole bunch of cryptocurrencies and anything that you're looking at, then consider looking at my subscription service. Also, if you want a personalized price action analysis of an instrument that you're looking at, have a look at my description box. It'll let you know how to request one of those. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.